Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about how Justin Timberlake sucks as a parent. So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves. Hello, and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about how Justin Timberlake, yes, Justin Timberlake, the star of the movie Trolls, the pop culture icon, singer extraordinaire, whatever you want to call this, man, he just sucks as a parent. And the reason I'm talking about this today is because we're in the middle of this corona virus, COVID-19 pandemic, and I just read this article. It says Justin Timberlake angers parents with his 24-hour parenting is just not human complaint among this coronavirus pandemic. So let's analyze this. Parents, as you are home 24/7 with your children, as you are now homeschoolers, as you are juggling your career, you are doing all these things. It's pretty amazing to me, some of the comments of parents as they are frustrated with his comments. I believe he said these comments tongue-in-cheek. He has a 5-year-old son, and unlike you and I possibly, his schedule is probably pretty busy in different ways. He may not be that dad that is always at home. He may come in. He is Justin Timberlake. They may have a nanny. I don't know how hands-on or hands-off he is, but just like the rest of us, there has been an adjustment period. Realize this, he just released the movie Trolls about 3 days ago. Typically, he'd probably be on some type of whirlwind tour promoting this on TV shows, on late night television, interviews, morning shows, radio interviews. It just happened to be a radio interview that he made these comments on. And instead of that, he and his wife decided to go to their home in Montana, which has been even more of a challenge amongst these other comments. He actually said, "We believe we're doing our part by going off to Montana," to which other people think that he should be throwing his money at this pandemic. You know, we've been asked as a country, let's analyze this. We've been asked as a country, and they're no different. They just happen to have a different job where they are in the public limelight. They are citizens of this country also, and they were asked to stay at home in this pandemic, and that's how he feels he's contributing, he and his wife and his child, by getting away and staying in place. And yet people are like, oh, if you were doing your part, you'd throw $50,000 or $100,000 to help buy masks. You know, the money isn't the problem when it comes to the masks. It's the production of it. The government has thrown plenty of money. So people telling him he should throw his hard-earned money. Yeah, and some people probably tongue-in-cheek, oh yeah, hard-earned money, what does he have to do? He worked his tail off as a child. He probably didn't have much of a childhood, because for those you don't realize, he was part of the Mickey Mouse Club, and those children are busy entertaining you and giving up their childhood to entertain you and putting in an ungodly amount of work and discipline in order to have that type of career, which translates into what he does today. But don't mistake all of the hours that he put into his craft to become just Justin Timberlake, the person that entertains you, your family, your children. So I love it when he says something to the effect of, 24-hour parenting is just not human. You want to know why? Because he probably hasn't experienced it. And being cooped up for somebody who is obviously an extrovert, who is obviously in the limelight, who obviously gets his energy off of other people, to be confined to a space for days upon days. He's just telling his truth. And for whatever reason, people want to jump down his throat. If you're being real with yourself, parents, this has not been easy. I asked my 8-year-old just the other day, actually he shared with me, he's actually in the room as I'm recording right now. He said, this isn't easy, Dad. He wants to go out, he wants to see his friends, he wants to go different places. And as parents who are used to going places, we want to also, but the government has asked us to stay put. And as a family, we're choosing, just like Justin Timberlake and his wife and his kid, we're following the rules. And yet some people feel as though he sucks as a parent. I actually applaud him for going off to Montana. I actually applaud him for sitting still and listening to the authorities. I actually applaud him for not coming public and saying, hey, I just donated $100,000 for more publicity, right? When money isn't the problem, it's actually the production and the supply chain of getting these masks to the hospitals, but not necessarily the money, because again, the government has said they are willing to pay to make sure that our frontline workers have everything that they need. So throwing money at a problem when the problem doesn't need money is not a solution. Staying put and doing what he said he was going to do and what is asked of him is what is done. And telling his truth in a comical way, saying this 24-hour parenting thing is just not human. Look, I get it. There are a lot of other people. There are people on Twitter saying, oh my goodness, you have millions of dollars. Millions of dollars do not solve the problem of isolation and quarantine. A lot of people have said this is the ultimate, what is the word I'm looking for? Equalizer of a populace. Why? Because it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor or tall or smart or dumb or whatever it is. It will attack anybody, and all of us equally have to go into this thing we call quarantine. And for a lot of people, most people, it is an uncomfortable situation, especially here in the United States, as a lot of our freedoms, as we know them, are being taken away. We can't go to a park. I actually literally had a conversation with somebody who told me their friend went and grabbed something to eat at an essential business. It happened to be a Five Guys burger. Nobody's in the store. You could walk in and walk out. He walks out. He sees umbrellas, right? A little outside cafe area right there by the Five Guys. And he thought to himself, hey, my burger's hot. I don't want to drive all the way home. I'm going to sit down. I'm not bothering anybody. Nobody's here. He has a bite of his burger, and a police officer pulls up and he says, sir, do you understand that we're in a stay-at-home state right now? And he says, yes. He goes, you obviously don't understand the meaning of that. I suggest you go home and eat your burger. And he got up and he ate his burger, but to not be able to eat a burger warm after you just purchased it seems a little bit crazy to us Americans. It's un-American to be unable to eat a burger. So I think it's a little bit crazy for people to be judging Justin Timberlake on telling him what he should be doing with his money, or where he should be with his family, or how he should feel being quarantined, because all of us as parents are going through something. And he's no different. You just put him on a pedestal. The population puts him on a pedestal because he happens to sing and dance and be in movies. But his emotions towards how this pandemic is affecting him and his family, he just shared that, hey, this isn't easy, parents. And he's probably applauding everybody internally, but everybody wants to take it the wrong way because everybody's a little bit stressed. So listen, I don't know jack about parenting, but I do know this. I sympathize with all parents who are trying to do their best, confined in spaces with children who really want to get out and who we want to help get out. But I think we're teaching them something valuable. The authorities, people who have more information than us, are telling us we need to stay put. And we're listening to the authorities, which is a foreign concept in this country right now. And because so many people are unwilling to listen to the authorities, right? This may prolong longer than we choose to. But I applaud Justin Timberlake and his family for doing what they did. And I say shame on the parents who are trying to shame what he and his family are doing to contribute to having this pandemic, the timeline shortened. Because if everybody did what they did and just did what they did, regardless of their finances and their other abilities to, make a commercial or whatever about it, if everybody just did what the Timberlake family did and is doing, this thing would be gone in just a few short weeks. So Justin, I applaud you. I don't know jack about parenting, but that makes sense to me. We'll see you in the next episode. Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.